Darth, Theorist, rise.
What if Anakin Skywalker refused to duel Obi-Wan on Mustafar? Let's explore the depths of it in the video.
You're going down a path I can't follow.
Because of Obi-Wan.
Because of what you've done. What you plan to do. Stop. Stop now. Come back. I love you.
Liar!
The heat from Mustafar's volcanic surface shimmers and waves across the landing platform. Anakin Skywalker stands motionless, his yellow-tinged eyes fixed on the figure descending the ship's ramp. Obi-Wan Kenobi, his former master, his brother. It was already a shock to see Padmé, her face twisted in betrayal and horror when she realized what he'd become. But now, seeing Obi-Wan emerge from her ship, his weathered features set in grim determination, something inside Anakin fractures in a way it hasn't before. Not an explosive anger he felt toward the Tusken Raiders who killed his mother. Not the cold fury that drove his lightsaber through Mace Windu's arm. Something quieter, more devastating. Shame. His hand rises slowly to his forehead, fingers pressed against his temples, as if he could physically contain the warring thoughts threatening to tear his mind apart. The pressure builds behind his eyes. His breathing becomes shallow, rapid. The dark side seizes the moment, whispering its poison with renewed urgency. He's given up on you. Look at his face. He's not here to save you. He's here to execute you, just like the Council always wanted. Mace Windu tried, didn't he? And now Obi-Wan will finish what Windu started. They never trusted you, never believed you. You were always the outsider, the slave boy who didn't belong. The words slither through his consciousness, each one finding purchase in old wounds. The Council's reluctance to train him, their suspicion, the way they denied him the rank of master even after everything he'd sacrificed. He brought Padmé here to watch, to witness your destruction. She's already turned against you. You saw her face. Disgust. Horror. She doesn't love you anymore. No one does. You're alone. You've always been alone. But another voice cuts through, quieter, deeper, harder to dismiss. No, that's not true. Obi-Wan raised you. He believed in you, even when Qui-Gon was gone. He fought for you, stood beside you in 1,000 battles, called you brother. He's the closest thing to a father you've ever known since... The thought of Qui-Gon sends a spasm of pain through his chest, and his mother, Shmi, both gone, both dead because he wasn't strong enough, fast enough, good enough to save them. But you can save Padmé. The power is yours now. Obi-Wan wants to take that away. He wants her to die. No, he came because he loves you, because he's trying to save you. From what? From power? From the strength to protect what you love? No, from yourself. Anakin's hand drops from his forehead. His fingers tremble. The two voices war inside him, each one screaming for dominance. He stands paralyzed between them, unable to choose, unable to breathe.
What have I done?
The snap hiss of an igniting lightsaber cuts through Anakin's spiraling thoughts. Blue plasma bathes the platform in cool light, a stark contrast to the hellish orange glow surrounding them. Anakin turns slowly. Obi-Wan's face is carved from stone, but his eyes betray him. Grief, anger, and something worse, disappointment. The two men stand facing each other across the platform, master and apprentice, brothers. The distance between them might as well be a parsec.
The fury I've seen. That's not what it says. I've seen what you've done, Anakin. I've seen the temple, the halls where we trained together, where you took your trials, where younglings learned to touch the Force for the first time. Bodies scattered like broken dolls across the floors that should have been sacred. But it wasn't just the knights, was it? The warriors who chose to fight in this war. It was the archivists, the healers, the ones who had nothing to do with politics or battles, or the Council's decisions. The younglings, Anakin. Children. Some no older than you were when I first took you as my Padawan. When I promised Qui-Gon I would train you. When I swore to protect you.
The word children lands like a physical blow. Behind Anakin, Padmé gasps. The sound cuts deeper than any lightsaber ever could. He forces himself to look at her. Her hand covers her mouth, tears streaming down her face as understanding dawns like a terrible sunrise. She's shaking her head, silently pleading with him to deny it.
Annie, no. Please. Please tell me he's wrong. Tell me you didn't...
But Anakin can't. He can't lie to her. Not anymore. He sees the exact moment her heart breaks, the way her face crumbles, the way her whole body seems to collapse in on itself. She knew he'd changed, knew he'd done dark things, but this is beyond her worst nightmares. The silence stretches between the three of them. Obi-Wan's lightsaber doesn't waver. Padmé's sobs fill the space, echoing off the platform's durasteel surface. Anakin stands frozen, caught between the two people he loves most, unable to defend himself because there's no defense. Every word is an eternal battle. The dark side urges him to justify it, to explain how their deaths were necessary, how they were casualties in this war to save Padmé, how the Jedi were traitors who would have killed him anyway. But looking at her now, at the horror and betrayal in her eyes, all his justifications crumble to ash. Finally, Anakin's voice emerges, hollow, broken, barely recognizable as his own.
It was all to save Padmé. The visions, every night for weeks. I couldn't escape them, couldn't make them stop. I watched her die over and over, in childbirth, screaming my name, reaching for me while I stood helpless. If there was any way to save her, any possibility at all, I needed to take it. The Chancellor said, "Visions?"
The word echoes across the platform, swallowed by the rumble of distant volcanic eruptions. Lava spray hisses against the edges of the landing platform.
You destroyed the entire Jedi Order because of visions? Possibilities? Dreams that might never come true?
He takes another step forward, and for a moment it looks like he might strike Anakin down where he stands.
The Jedi Order was my life, Anakin. My home. My family. Everything I've known since I was 4 years old. And you took it all away. You took the lives of hundreds, no, thousands of innocents, for one person. One person who wasn't even truly in danger except in your mind.
The truth crashes over Anakin like a wave of molten lava. His knees nearly buckle. The platform seems to tilt beneath his feet. Obi-Wan is right. Padmé stands before him now, alive, healthy despite her grief and her swollen belly. The visions were just that. Visions. Possibilities. Shadows of potential futures. Not certainties. Not guarantees. And he had burned the galaxy for them. How many younglings? He remembers their faces now, without the red haze of rage that clouded his vision in the temple. Small faces. Frightened faces. They recognized him. Some even smiled, thinking he'd come to save them from the clone troopers. And then Anakin turns away sharply, unable to bear Obi-Wan's gaze any longer. He can't look at the face of the man who taught him everything, who stood before the council and demanded they honor Qui-Gon's dying wish, who risked his life beside him in 1,000 battles, always trusting to watch his back.
I won't fight you.
Obi-Wan blinks, momentarily thrown off balance. This isn't what he expected.
You're one of the only people who ever believed in me, who I looked to as a father. I can't raise my blade against you. I won't.
Obi-Wan stands frozen, his lightsaber humming in his hand. The blue blade casts strange shadows across his weathered face. He came here prepared for one of two outcomes. Save Anakin, or kill him. Those were the only options. Yoda had been clear. The boy he had trained was gone, consumed by Darth Vader. But this, Anakin surrendering, acknowledging his crimes, showing genuine remorse. The dark side still radiates from his former Padawan like heat from the lava rivers below. Obi-Wan can feel it pressing against his senses, thick and oppressive, but it feels different now, less chaotic than when he first landed on this hellish planet, less like a man drowning in darkness and more like a man actively fighting against the current pulling him under.
Anakin, I can sense you're conflicted. The darkness is still strong in you, still consuming you, but...
Padmé's sharp intake of breath cuts him off like a blade. She doubles over, clutching her swollen belly with both hands. Her face goes pale, then flushed. A pained gasp escapes her lips.
Obi-Wan, something's... the baby. I can feel...
Contractions. She's going into labor. Now. Here. Everything changes in an instant. Training and instinct override everything else. Obi-Wan's lightsaber deactivates with a snap hiss as he rushes to Padmé's side, catching her as she stumbles. Obi-Wan moves too, every paternal instinct screaming at him to help, to protect, to save his wife and unborn child. But before he can take 3 steps, Obi-Wan's hand shoots out. The Force gathers around it like an invisible wave.
No!
The Force slams into Anakin's chest with the power of a speeder collision. He flies backward across the platform, his boots leaving skid marks in the durasteel. He crashes near the edge, lava spray hissing against the metal plates mere meters from his head. The heat sears his face. Obi-Wan scoops Padmé into his arms with practiced efficiency. She's still conscious, gritting her teeth against the pain, but her eyes find Anakin's across the platform. So much passes between them in that single look. Love, betrayal, longing, goodbye. Anakin scrambles to his feet, reaching out with both hands and the Force.
Wait, Obi-Wan, wait. She's my wife. Those are my children. You can't...
I don't trust you around her. Not yet. Not like this. I can still feel the dark side in you, Anakin. It's writhing, fighting for control. I know you refuse to fight me, and that means something. But I won't risk Padmé's life. I won't risk your children's lives. Not until you truly come back to us.
The ship's ramp begins to raise. Anakin runs forward.
Please, I need to be there. I need to...
Obi-Wan turns at the top of the ramp, Padmé cradled in his arms. His face is torn between duty and friendship, between the Council's teachings and his love for the brother he's losing.
Then prove it. Prove you're still the man I trained. The man Qui-Gon believed you could be. Not with words, Anakin. With actions.
The ramp seals shut. The last thing Anakin sees is Obi-Wan's face, grief-stricken and resolute, before the metal door cuts off his view. The ship's engines roar to life. The repulsor lifts engage. Dust and ash swirl across the platform as the Naboo cruiser lifts off. Rage, pure, undiluted rage surges through Anakin's veins like liquid fire. How dare he? How dare he think he can take his wife, his children? They're his family, his responsibility. The dark side feeds on his fury, growing stronger with every breath, urging him to pursue, to destroy, to reclaim what is rightfully his. Anakin sprints to his own ship. His hands fly across the controls with the muscle memory of 1,000 flights. The engines scream as he lifts off the platform. He scans the sky desperately for Obi-Wan's vessel, but the Naboo cruiser is fast, and Obi-Wan has precious seconds of lead time. By the time Anakin breaks through Mustafar's ash-choked atmosphere, there's nothing but empty space and scattered stars. Gone. Anakin sits in the pilot's seat, Mustafar's angry red surface shrinking in the viewport below him. His hands grip the controls so tightly his knuckles turn white. The leather of his glove creaks under the pressure. A dozen emotions war inside him, each one screaming for attention, tearing him in different directions. Rage at Obi-Wan for taking Padmé, for daring to separate him from his wife in her moment of greatest need. The dark side seizes this, amplifying it, painting vivid pictures of revenge, but shame drowns it out almost immediately. Shame at what he's done, at the temple burning, at the younglings' faces, at the betrayal in Padmé's eyes when she realized the truth. He sees them now, clearly, without the dark side's justifications clouding his vision. Regret follows, a crushing weight on his chest that makes it hard to breathe. If only he'd talked to Yoda about the visions instead of hiding them. If only he'd trusted Obi-Wan. If only he'd questioned Palpatine's easy answers. Yearning comes next, a physical ache in his chest. He wants to hold Padmé, to feel their children kicking against his palm, to tell her he's sorry, that he'll find a way back, that he'll be the man she fell in love with again. Disgust follows, disgust at the monster he's become. He can still feel the dark side coursing through him, thick and oily and wrong. He's powerful now, yes, strong enough to choke someone across the galaxy, strong enough to slaughter an entire temple full of Jedi. But more than anything else, more than rage or shame or regret, he feels lost, completely, utterly lost. The silence in the cockpit feels profound. Outside, stars drift past in their ancient patterns, uncaring of the drama playing out in this single small ship. Inside, Anakin Skywalker sits alone with his thoughts, and they're eating him alive. What now? What is he supposed to do? Go back to Palpatine, report his success, continue down this dark path until he's unrecognizable even to himself? The Emperor will have new tasks for him, new enemies to destroy, new threats to the Empire that need eliminating. He thinks of the younglings again, wonders if any of them reminded Palpatine of threats. Then, like drawing a breath through darkness, a thought emerges. Simple, obvious, but somehow revolutionary. Padmé is with Obi-Wan, safe, protected. Obi-Wan will take her to the best medical facilities in the galaxy. She'll have proper care, proper monitoring. She won't be giving birth in some abandoned medical facility with only droids to help her. Maybe the visions won't come true after all. Maybe Obi-Wan is right. Maybe it was all in his head, a manipulation by Palpatine to turn him toward darkness, to make him desperate enough to do anything, to burn any bridge, kill any friend, destroy any bond. The realization hits him like a Star Destroyer's turbo laser blast. If Padmé doesn't die, does he truly need the Chancellor anymore? Does he need the dark side? Was it all for nothing? He remembers the exact moment he knelt before Palpatine. The desperation, the fear, the willingness to trade anything. His soul, his honor, his very identity, for the power to save the woman he loved. And Palpatine's smile, that knowing, satisfied smile, it was all manipulation. All of it, from the very beginning. The power wasn't a tool, it was a leash. Clarity washes over him like cold water. For the first time since the nightmares began, since Palpatine first whispered tales of Darth Plagueis the Wise, Anakin's mind feels clear. The two warring voices in his head quiet. The dark side's grip loosens, just slightly. And in that moment of clarity, something impossible happens. A presence materializes in the Force. Familiar. Warm.
Anakin.
Anakin's breath catches in his throat. His eyes dart around the empty cockpit. He knows that voice. It's impossible, but he knows it as surely as he knows his own heartbeat.
Qui-Gon? Master? Is that you?
Yes, my young friend. The clarity you've found has opened you to the Force. Opened you to me.
The words hit Anakin like a physical blow. Tears spring to his eyes. Not the angry tears of rage, but something purer. Something he hasn't felt in years. His vision blurs. His hands shake on the controls. He hasn't cried like this since his mother died in his arms on Tatooine. No, longer than that. Since he was 9 years old, leaving his mother behind in slavery, hoping against hope he'd see her again.
Master, I've done terrible things. Unforgivable things. The temple, the younglings, I betrayed everything you believed I could be.
The words pour out now, unstoppable. Years of pain and regret flooding through him.
You found me on Tatooine. You told me I was meant for something greater. You believed in me when no one else did. You died so I could become a Jedi. And I destroyed them. I destroyed everything you fought for.
Yes, you have.
The simple acknowledgement should hurt, but somehow it doesn't. It's honest, real, not sugar-coated or deflected, just truth.
You've done terrible deeds, Anakin. Deeds that will haunt you for the rest of your life. The younglings' faces. They're trusting you. You betrayed that trust in the worst way imaginable.
Each word is a knife, but Anakin doesn't shy away. He deserves this. Deserves to hear the truth from the one man whose opinion mattered more than anyone except Obi-Wan and Padmé.
I remember leaving Tatooine with you. I remember the ship, the conversations we had. You asked me if I'd missed my mother.
The memory floods back with perfect clarity. He can see Qui-Gon's face, patient and kind, can feel the gentle hand on his shoulder.
I said I didn't know, but I did know. I missed her the moment we took off, and I never saw her again. Not until it was too late. Until she died in my arms.
I know.
You told me I had a power you'd never seen before. That I could help people. Make their lives better. That's why I wanted to become a Jedi in the first place. To help people, to free slaves, to make the galaxy safer. But instead, I've hurt so many people. Scarred the galaxy. Allowed a Sith Lord to seize power and twist everything into an empire. I've become the very thing I swore to destroy.
Silence fills the cockpit. Outside, the stars continue their ancient dance. Inside, Anakin Skywalker sits broken, waiting for judgment from a ghost.
You're correct about all of it. The pain you've caused, the lives you've taken, the darkness you've spread. There's no denying it, no excusing it.
Anakin closes his eyes, accepting the truth.
But Anakin, it's not too late.
Anakin's eyes snap open.
You cannot turn back time. You cannot undo what you've done. Those younglings will not come back. The temple will not rebuild itself. The order you knew is gone forever. But you can make it right. Not erase it, not fix it, but balance the scales. One act of redemption at a time.
How? How can I possibly make this right?
You must face Palpatine.
The name sends a chill through the Force. Anakin's hand unconsciously moves to his lightsaber.
He is the source, the spider at the center of the web. He orchestrated this war, manipulated both sides, used your fear and your love as weapons against you. As long as he lives, the darkness will continue to spread.
I'm his apprentice now. His weapon. What makes you think I can defeat him?
Because you're not fighting him with the darkness in your heart, Anakin. You're not going to face him with rage or fear or the corrupted power he's taught you.
Then how?
With the light. With the power I recognized in you from the beginning. The power the Jedi Order tried to mold and control, but couldn't. The raw connection to the Force that exists within you. You are the chosen one, Anakin. The one prophesized to bring balance. This is your moment.
As Qui-Gon speaks, something shifts inside Anakin. The Force responds, resonating with the words like a struck bell. He feels goosebumps race across his skin, the midichlorians in his cells awakening, singing in harmony with Qui-Gon's presence. The power he's always carried, the vast, terrible, and beautiful, rises to the surface. Not the corrupt dark side power Palpatine taught him, not even the rigid, controlled power the Jedi demanded. Something else, something balanced between light and dark, between control and freedom. He remembers being 9 years old, instinctively knowing how to navigate a pod race at speeds that would kill any normal human. Remembers the Force flowing through him, natural as breathing, before the rules, before the restrictions, before the fear. That power is still there, buried, waiting.
I feel it, Master. The Force. It's different than before.
Good. You're ready, Anakin. You've taken the first step by recognizing your crimes. Now take the second. Face the true enemy. End his reign of darkness.
Anakin feels tears streaming down his face, but they're different now. Not tears of rage or despair, tears of determination, of purpose.
Make me proud, Anakin. Make your mother proud. Save the galaxy from darkness. Not as a Jedi, not as a Sith, but as yourself, the chosen one.
I will, Master. I swear it.
The presence fades like morning mist, but the warmth lingers. For the first time in months, Anakin Skywalker knows exactly what he must do. He sets coordinates for Coruscant. His hands don't shake. His mind doesn't waver. The dark side still flows through him, but he's holding it now instead of drowning it. The light is there too, weak but growing stronger with every breath. Balance. Perhaps that's what the prophecy meant all along. Coruscant's lights spread across the planet's surface like a circuit board, artificial illumination banishing any trace of natural darkness. Anakin's ship cuts through the upper atmosphere, heading for the Senate District, for the Chancellor's office, for Palpatine. Inside the private office that has seen 1,000 political machinations, Palpatine stands by the viewport, his hood drawn, yellow eyes reflecting the city planet below. He feels the disturbance in the Force before the door chimes. The rage that consumed Anakin on Mustafar, the beautiful, intoxicating fury that signals his complete turn to the dark side, is gone. In its place, Palpatine senses something that makes his ancient heart skip a beat. Clarity. No conflict, no fear, no anger. Just power. Raw, unlimited power. Not dark, not light. Simply power. Palpatine turns as the door opens. Anakin stands in the doorway, still wearing his dark robes, but the yellow has nearly faded from his eyes. Only the faintest tinge remains.
Lord Vader, I sense the disturbance in the Force. Your mission to Mustafar
Is complete. The Separatists are dead. The droid army is shut down. The war is over.
He steps into the office. The door closes behind him.
Then why, my young apprentice, do I sense you have not come to celebrate our victory?
Anakin's hand moves to his lightsaber. The gesture is subtle, but Palpatine catches it immediately.
Ah, I see.
You lied to me. The power to save Padmé. It was never real, was it? You manipulated my fear, used my love for her as a weapon, turned me into a monster so you could have your perfect apprentice.
Palpatine's smile doesn't reach his eyes. He's calculated 1,000 variables, planned for every contingency. But this, his apprentice turning on him mere hours after pledging himself to the dark side. Fascinating and dangerous.
My dear boy, you came to me, remember? Desperate, afraid, willing to do anything to save your precious senator. I merely showed you the way, gave you the tools, but every choice, every action, those were yours.
I'm ending this. Now. No more manipulation. No more lies. Your empire dies with you.
Palpatine sighs, the sound almost disappointed. He lets his hood fall back, revealing his grotesque features fully.
So, my apprentice has come to kill me. How deliciously predictable. But you forget something crucial, young Skywalker.
His lightsaber flies into his hand from its hiding place.
I am the master. You are merely the apprentice. Your anger and your rage might have been powerful, but your newfound clarity, you've lost what made you strong. You cannot defeat me.
The crimson blade ignites. For a moment, the two men stand facing each other, master and apprentice, Sith and Jedi, darkness and light. Then Palpatine moves. He's fast, impossibly fast. The Force screams through him as he launches across the office, his blade a blur of red death. Anakin barely gets his lightsaber up in time. The impact sends shockwaves through his arms. Palpatine is strong, stronger than Anakin anticipated. They separate, circle each other. The office becomes an arena. Palpatine presses the attack, his form shifting through classical Makashi with supernatural precision. Thrust, parry, riposte, each movement economical, designed to kill. Anakin gives ground, his Gemso defense holding but barely. Palpatine's speed is overwhelming, powered by decades of dark side mastery. A desk explodes as Palpatine throws it with the Force. Anakin ducks. Durasteel shards pepper the walls. The viewport cracks under the pressure of their combined power.
You see, nothing without your rage. The Jedi teachings have made you weak.
He unleashes a flurry of strikes. High, low, inside, outside. Anakin's blade moves in desperate defense, but something is different. His movements, while defensive, are perfect. Not a wasted motion, not a single opening. This isn't the wild, aggressive Anakin who would have overextended in his fury. This isn't the conflicted apprentice torn between masters. This is something else, something focused, something dangerous. Palpatine realizes it a moment too late. Anakin's counterattack comes like a thunderbolt, a powerful overhead strike that Palpatine barely parries. The force of it sends the Sith Lord stumbling back. Anakin presses forward, his blue blade weaving through forms. Sorosu followed into Ataru shifting to Gemso. He's using everything, every lesson from Obi-Wan, every technique he learned in the Clone Wars. Their blades lock. They stand face to face, pushing against each other with both their physical strength and the Force.
You're wrong. I'm not fighting with rage. I'm fighting with purpose.
He breaks the lock, spins, his blade cutting a horizontal arc. Palpatine leaps backward, using the Force to propel himself across the room. He lands near the broken viewport, wind howling through the shattered transparisteel.
Purpose. Purpose. You murdered younglings. You betrayed everything you claimed to believe in. You are darkness.
Red lightning erupts from his fingertips, pure, concentrated dark-side energy lancing across the office. Anakin raises his blade, catching the lightning on the plasma. It crackles and hisses, bending around him. His muscles scream with the effort of holding it back, but he is holding it, withstanding the Emperor's full power. Palpatine increases the intensity. The lightning grows brighter, more savage. The air fills with the ozone stench of ionized atmosphere. Still, Anakin holds, his feet planted, his lightsaber a shield against the storm. Then something shifts. Anakin feels it. The Force showing him something. Not a vision, not a command, just knowledge, understanding flowing into him like water. He knows what to do. Anakin lowers his free hand. The Force gathers around it, responding to his will in a way it never has before. He thinks of Qui-Gon, of his mother, of every slave on Tatooine who deserved freedom, every youngling who deserved to live, of Padmé, alone and afraid, giving birth without him. White lightning, Force judgment, erupts from his fingertips, pure, cleansing energy that represents not the selfish rage of the Sith, but the righteous defense of the innocent. The two forms of lightning meet in the center of the room, pure white clashing with pure red. The collision creates a ball of roiling energy, growing larger, more unstable. The entire office shakes. Cracks spread across the walls.
Impossible. You cannot. This power is beyond.
He pours more energy into his lightning. The red intensifies, pushing against the white. But Anakin matches him. For every ounce of dark side fury, Anakin responds with light side determination. They're evenly matched. A stalemate. But Palpatine is ancient. His body is a shell held together by Sith sorcery and spite. Anakin is young, strong, the chosen one. Time is on Anakin's side. Palpatine realizes this at the same moment Anakin does. Fear, real, genuine fear, flashes across the Sith Lord's face. For the first time in decades, Darth Sidious confronts his own mortality. And in that moment of fear, his concentration wavers. Just slightly, just enough. The Force speaks to Anakin, not in words, in understanding. A shatterpoint, a weakness in the fabric of the moment. He sees it as clearly as if it were illuminated. The exact instant, the precise angle, the singular opportunity. He moves. Cutting off his Force lightning, Anakin ducks under Palpatine's red energy stream. It scorches the air where his head was a millisecond before. He closes the distance in a single Force-enhanced leap, his lightsaber humming. Palpatine tries to redirect his lightning, but he's a fraction too slow, committed to the wrong angle. Anakin's blade swings low, powered by perfect form and devastating purpose. The lightsaber severs Palpatine's legs at the knee. The Sith Lord's scream is inhuman. He collapses, his lightning cutting off as his concentration shatters. He tries to call on the Force, to push Anakin away, to summon his lightsaber, to do anything, but Anakin is already moving. His second strike is surgical, precise. Both of Palpatine's hands fall to the floor, still crackling with residual dark side energy. Darth Sidious, Emperor of the Galaxy, Supreme Chancellor, lies broken and defeated on the floor of his own office. Anakin stands over him, lightsaber pointed at his throat. He feels the dark side urging him to finish it, to drive the blade through Palpatine's chest, to take revenge for the manipulation, the lies, the destruction of his life. But he remembers Qui-Gon's words, not with darkness, with light.
No. You'll face justice. The Senate will decide your fate.
The Senate. They're mine. I am the Senate.
Not anymore. Your empire ends today.
He reaches for his comlink, calling for Senate security, calling for anyone who will listen. The war is over. The Sith Lord is defeated, and Anakin Skywalker, for the first time in months, can breathe. In the aftermath of the battle, the Senate chamber has never been so silent. Senators and their aides pack the vast circular space, but no one speaks, no one moves. They're all fixed on a singular figure standing at the center, Anakin Skywalker. Anakin's voice echoes through the chamber, steady and clear, despite the weight of what he's revealing, confessing everything, no detail spared, no crime hidden.
I tell you these things not to seek forgiveness. What I've done is unforgivable. The younglings I killed, the Jedi I betrayed, the temple I burned. No words can undo those actions. No punishment you devise will match the weight I carry. But the galaxy deserves the truth. You deserve to know that Supreme Chancellor Palpatine was Darth Sidious, Dark Lord of the Sith. He orchestrated this entire war from both sides. That he manipulated me, used my fear and love as weapons, turned me into a tool of destruction. He promised me the power to save my wife from visions of her death and childbirth. Visions that may never have been real. Visions that he may have planted himself. I was so desperate, so afraid, that I sacrificed everything for that false promise.
Why should we believe you? You're a confessed killer and a child murderer. This could all be lies to save yourself.
Palpatine is in Senate custody. Examine him. You'll find the lightsaber hidden in his office, the Sith artifacts, the evidence of his manipulation. I'm not asking you to take me at my word. I'm asking you to investigate and discover the truth for yourselves.
What about the Empire? The Declaration? The clone army now enforcing martial law across the galaxy?
The Empire must be dissolved immediately. The Republic must be restored. Not as it was. That Republic was flawed, corrupted, vulnerable to Palpatine's manipulations. But rebuilt, stronger, more just.
Bail Organa rises from his pod, commanding attention through presence alone.
General Skywalker raises valid points. If what he says is true, and I believe the evidence will support his claims, then we stand at a crossroads. We can continue down Palpatine's path of tyranny, or we can reclaim our democratic foundations.
Mon Mothma stands as well.
I propose we form an emergency commission to investigate these claims thoroughly. And if they prove true, we hold immediate elections for a new chancellor, someone without ties to Palpatine's regime.
The chamber erupts in debate. Voices overlay voices. Pods light up, requesting to speak, the organized chaos of democracy reasserting itself after years of war and manipulation. Anakin stands silently in the center, letting the debate wash over him. He said what he needed to say, confessed what needed to be confessed. The rest is up to them. Finally, after an hour of heated discussion, a vote is called. The resolution passes. Emergency investigation. Dissolution of the Empire. Elections within 30 days. As this session concludes, Bail Organa makes his way to where Anakin stands under guard.
What you did took courage. Confessing your crimes publicly, implicating yourself. That's not the actions of an irredeemable monster. It's the least I could do, and it's not enough. It will never be enough. Perhaps not, but it's a start.
Polis Massa Medical Facility orbits serenely in the void, a small station dedicated to healing and research. In one of the private recovery rooms, Padmé rests against crisp white sheets. 2 tiny bundles lie cradled in her arms, swaddled in soft blankets. The door chimes. Obi-Wan's hand moves instinctively toward his lightsaber. He looks through the viewport of the door, and his breath catches. Anakin, flanked by 2 guards, his hand bound in stun cuffs. Obi-Wan opens the door cautiously.
The Senate granted your request. 1 visit. That's all.
I understand.
He steps into the room. The guards remain outside, watching through the doorway. Padmé's eyes meet his, and the entire galaxy seems to hold its breath. So much passes between them without words. Love, still there, buried but unbroken. Betrayal, raw and recent and devastating. Forgiveness, not complete, perhaps never complete, but beginning. Grief for what was lost, what could have been. Anakin approaches slowly, as if afraid sudden movement might shatter the moment. Padmé doesn't pull the babies away. That simple gesture, not recoiling, not protecting them from him, nearly undoes him completely.
Padmé, I'm so sorry. For everything. For what I've done. For what I've become. For...
I know, Annie. I know.
She adjusts the bundles so he can see their faces clearly. 2 tiny, perfect faces. Luke has his strong nose, his determined chin. Leia has Padmé's eyes, her delicate features. They're beautiful. More beautiful than anything Anakin has ever seen.
They're perfect.
Luke and Leia.
Anakin kneels beside the bed, bringing himself to eye level with his children. Luke stirs, his tiny fist escaping the blanket. Leia sleeps on, peaceful and undisturbed. Anakin reaches out, then hesitates. His hands, these hands that killed younglings, that betrayed the Order, that brought darkness to the galaxy. Do they have any right to touch something so pure? Padmé sees the hesitation. With her free hand, she guides his to Luke's tiny palm. The baby's fingers close instinctively around Anakin's thumb. The gesture is automatic, meaningless to the infant, but to Anakin, it's everything.
I don't deserve this. I don't deserve them. Or you. Or...
No, you don't. But they're still yours. And someday, when they're old enough to understand, we'll tell them the truth. All of it. The good and the terrible. And they'll decide for themselves what to think of their father.
Anakin nods, unable to speak. He leans down slowly, pressing a gentle kiss to Luke's forehead, then Leia's. Memorizing their faces, their warmth, the way they smell, clean and new and full of possibility. He straightens and turns to Obi-Wan, who has been standing silently by the door.
Protect them. Both of them. Teach them. Help them understand that I wasn't always this. That once, a long time ago, I wanted to help people. To make the galaxy better.
They'll know, Anakin. When they're ready. They'll know everything. The good and the bad. The hero and the monster. All of it.
Will you train them? In the Force?
Obi-Wan glances at Padmé, who nods slightly.
Yes. They'll be the first students of the New Order, along with any other Force-sensitive children we find. Luke will train with me. Leia with Yoda. They'll grow strong, balanced, learning from our mistakes.
Anakin feels a flicker of hope through the crushing guilt.
Padmé, I love you. I've always loved you. Even when I was lost in darkness. Even when I couldn't see clearly, I loved you. And I know that doesn't excuse anything. I know.
I know, Annie. I know you love me. I love you too. I wish things had been different. I wish we could have the life we dreamed about. But that's not possible now.
I know.
The guards appear in the doorway. Time's up. Anakin takes one last look at his children, memorizing every detail. Luke's tiny nose, Leia's peaceful expression, the way they fit perfectly in Padmé's arms. A family he'll never truly be a part of. He turns and walks towards the door. Each step feels like tearing away from his own heart. But he doesn't look back. Looking back won't change anything, won't undo his crimes, won't restore what he's destroyed. The unmarked transport ship is small, unarmed and anonymous, perfect for someone who needs to disappear. Anakin sits in the pilot seat, his hands finally free of binders, watching Polis Massa shrink in the viewport. He sets coordinates at random. The Outer Rim territories, the unknown regions, places where the Republic's reach is weak and the Empire's shadow hasn't fallen, places where people need help but have no one to turn to. He will wander. He will meditate with the living Force. He will commune with Qui-Gon and learn the secrets of immortality through the Force. And most importantly, he will help people, one life at a time, one village saved, one injustice prevented, one act of kindness offered freely. It won't balance the scales. Nothing can. But it's something. The hyperspace lever sits ready under his hand, but before he engages it, Qui-Gon's voice whispers through the Force once more.
The journey of redemption is long, Anakin. Longer than any hyperspace route. More difficult than any battle. But you've taken the first step, and that's what matters. I won't stop, Master. I promise you. I promise my mother. I promise Padmé and Luke and Leia. I'll spend the rest of my life trying to make this right.
I know you will. May the Force be with you, young one. Always.
The presence fades, but the warmth remains. Anakin pulls the hyperspace lever. The stars stretch into lines. The ship leaps forward into the unknown. Behind him, the galaxy begins to heal. Bail Organa takes his place as Chancellor, immediately setting reforms into motion. The Jedi establish their new temple on Dagobah, smaller, humbler, focused on serving the living Force rather than political entities. Obi-Wan becomes Grand Master with Yoda as his advisor, ensuring the transition honors the old ways while embracing necessary change. Padmé Amidala retires from politics completely. She returns to Naboo with her children, living quietly in her family's lake country home. She will never return to the Senate, never again speak before crowds or negotiate treaties. She focuses entirely on Luke and Leia, watching them grow strong and healthy and loved. That's our theory. The Star Wars universe is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you'd like to join us on this journey to a galaxy far, far away, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.